I saw a good morning from Cajun country. Oh, and there's my man Eric Benjamin. And Tristan is watching. That's fantastic. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marathon Mondays with Mal. Sarah's looking at me like I'm crazy. It's our 200th episode, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to our 200th episode. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. Armand and I are a little bit excited, not a lot, but just a little, about what we're going to do this morning. We're going to walk the entire building, so stay with us. We're going to see a lot of things. And if you have questions about what you see, Mickey is remotely sending me messages, so you're going to see me looking at my phone from time to time because Mickey's going to send me messages from our marketing department, and so that we can answer them live on the show. The first thing I want to show you is this. This is, in my opinion, the best calendar cover that Marathon's ever done, and that goes back to the 80s, looking at all of the covers. This picture was taken at an air museum down in Tillamook County, Oregon, not far from Lincoln City, not far from Newport, Oregon. But this is a massive blimp hangar that was built during World War II, and this is not a doctored photo. We actually pulled these two coaches into this massive hangar, and it's just an epic cover for the 2021 Marathon calendar. Proud to show that off, and you guys know that we'll be giving those out. But let's not talk about that today. Let's talk about this lobby. I'm going to be putting my mask on from time to time depending on how closely I walk in close quarters of our building. One of the things I want to show you is Emily and Sarah's lobby COVID angel, which is kicking it on the front and center on the Marathon lobby tree. Emily, Sarah, good job, you guys. It's very cool. Let's go check out. We're going to actually go this way. Stick with us. Let us know if you've got questions. I've got my phone, and Mickey is going to trigger me with any questions. Walking by the, for those of you who have been to Marathon, you've seen this brag wall before. This is a lot of celebrities, previous owners, current owners, everybody from Hollywood to a lot of NASCAR to a lot of corporate coaches. Okay, Derek is asking how to get a calendar. Good question, and thank you, Mickey, for throwing that first question at us. Next episode, I'm going to hold a contest for everybody to get calendars from me. So don't email me yet, because we're going to do a little contest. It's not really a contest, it's just a little survey, a one-question survey, so that I can get some feedback from you guys. This is our 200th episode, and we're going to walk through here. But Derek, thank you for asking. We're going to be handling the calendars within the next couple of weeks so that we can get them out to you guys. Now, we are walking through the cabinet shop here, and one thing we're going to do today is we're going to walk this entire building. So if you've never been to Marathon, or if you don't want to go back and watch some of the episodes, excuse me there, we are going to walk this entire building. So if you've got questions about what you see, Mickey will throw them at me. This is the cabinet shop. The heart and soul of, watch your feet here, Armand. There you go. The heart and soul of a Marathon coach. You know, the chassis is designed to go for decades, and we build the cabinetry and everything in the coach to do the same. The house needs to mirror the actual chassis. Let me know if I'm having any audio problems, you guys. We think we've got this microphone dialed in. I know Mickey's going to let us know also. So everything from the CNC machine over here all the way to the cabinet shop, and we're going to go this way. One of the things I can show you right here, one of the great things, something that another one of our guys told me about when I first came to Marathon is you want to build a cabinet for the proper function of the coach. So you use different woods, whether they need to be heavier or strong or lighter, depending on the application. A cabinet door doesn't need to be a real heavy, thick, strong wood. It needs to be strong but yet light at the same time. So we use a lot of wood blends, and everything is actually made of real wood, you guys, before we laminate it. Now, why do we laminate a cabinetry? Because it will never lose I'll give you a couple of reasons. We laminate them because it'll never lose the color, it'll never lose the look of that laminate. On day one and after 20 years, that laminate should look the exact same, because real wood can fade, real wood can change with the environment that it is exposed to, and laminate does not do that. The other big reason is that using laminates gives the owner of the coach the options of different colors, different textures. Let me show you what I mean. How are you? You've seen this before on Marathon Mondays. Here it is. These are all the current laminates that we're using on the coaches that are in production. Let's take a look at this one. Here is stone dust. This is the walls for coach 1338. It is a flat, and it's got, right now it's got a protective coating on it, but actually it's a glossy gray. Mickey just said our microphone is great, so that's good. Thank you, Mickey, for that feedback. Here's another one that I'm a really big fan of. This is Autumn Odyssey. So this is the cabinetry in coach 1339. It is a flat finish. It's not satin and it's not glossy. It is a flat finish. That's why we use laminates. Laminates provide the customer a lot of flexibility, provide the customer a lot of ability to make their own, to make the coach their own. We're not just giving you a certain amount of woods, and also it protects the investment. It protects you, the consumer. Quite frankly, with your money you're spending, that wood is not going to change over the years. Take a look at this piece of cabinetry right behind us. This is an occasional table. It's been prescribed, as I can see from this note right here. But take a look at all of the cabinetry work in here. And excuse me there, I mean all of the laminate work. It's put together with the proper adhesive, with the proper way of doing that adhesive, the proper way of applying it. It's just a beautiful piece of cabinetry. It will always look like this if it is properly taken care of. If it's dinged, it can get fixed. It can get repaired. It can get, you can peel a piece off and replace it if you know how to do it, or if you've got a shop like Marathon that knows how to service it properly. But this will always look this good, and it'll never fade. I'm a big fan of that, and I love that color too. Another thing that laminate really provides us to do is grain match. And a lot of people, I've talked about it before, how shirts have stripes on them. You want the stripes to match up from the front of the shirt to the back of the shirt. It's important to have a good grain match. We're going to head on down this way. This is the hard surfaces room, you guys. This is where the cabinetry, the countertops get built and designed right in here. Corian is such a cool product because it's so flexible. Not just, and pardon the pun, but you can heat it up and bend it. So there's your flexibility pun. You can polish it to any sheen that you really want to achieve. You can see it in showers. You can see it in different features throughout the coach, including, and most importantly, in a Marathon, you see it in countertops. Mickey said the audio is peaking a little bit. Hope I'm not yelling. And Mark is asking, we'll go back to a couple of questions and get those handled. Mark is asking if we can get the laminate in a cypress look. Absolutely. Whatever's available in the market, we can get. And that's one of the cool things that Marathon does, is we hold on to those laminates for a long time. We catalog them so that if you want to get your coach repaired or you need a repair, those laminates are going to be available most likely in this building for quite a long time. But yes, there's so many different laminates. What I just showed you is only the current 6 or 7 coaches we're working on right now. And Brian is asking how the laminate is applied. Let's backtrack. We're not going to go too far in depth on that, but it's adhesive and heat. And that's one of the things. That's a great question, Brian. Thank you for going over there. Now, if we lose a little bit of video, we don't want to do that. Adhesive and heat, that is how it's applied. And you can see over here, it's a lot of work that goes into it, but that is a good question, because the key to applying the laminate is properly, not just to apply it. And so over the years, you're going to see that it will hold up, and that's what's really important. And I don't see anyone actually applying right now. I see a lot of scribing right now, a lot of adhesive, but not any of the heat mechanism, for the lack of a better term, being used. But that's a good question, and that helps me, Brian, because that's another episode we can do. We've done, I think, a couple of episodes in the laminate shop, but it would be a great idea to revisit it. Lawrence is asking if I'm going to be down at the Florida RV show. Not quite sure. That is going to be up to the schedule. I've got some travel plans in January, and might go down. Not quite sure what's going on for the big shows that are happening in Florida in January and in February. All right. Here we are. This is kind of what you would call right before we go into the paint department, fiberglass. Another thing that you might not know about Marathon is that we do a lot of our own fiberglass work right in this room. So the roof caps, the dashboards, and you can see some of the parts over here, roof caps, dashboards, parts of the cockpit, our fenders that go right over the wheels and tires. All done right here in this area of the manufacturing plant, and we have our own molds. It's really cool to be able and have the flexibility to make our own fiberglass parts right in here. Here's we do some steel fabrication, everything from infrastructure here in the plant. This is a big building with a lot of needs, and so we build a lot of our own jigs. If you know about manufacturing, you know that everything needs a jig. Like, example, this is a jig. It looks like it sorts a lot of parts, but this jig was built in this building by some of our guys down here. I used to work in steel prior to working for Marathon, you guys, so I know a lot about this structural steel that is stacked up right there. Okay, here we are. Armand and I walked down here this morning and we looked at these two sitting right here. That's an X3 shell. That's a designer choice. I think it's 46. This is Coach 1346 X3 double slide that we're going to be getting into the paint department real soon. And that's right next to a custom X right there. So what you are getting to see here, which is really cool, is an unpainted X3 next to a painted X3. All right, getting back to a couple of our questions. Kim wants to know what an H3 and an H3 means. So there's an H3 and an X3. Just real quick, this is an X3. There's two different Prevost chassis that Marathon converts on. This is an X3. Quite frankly, the biggest way or the easiest way to tell is the stainless steel sides of the X. And you see right there, there's the painted version and there's the unpainted version. One is considered a shell right now, and it looks like it just went through shell prep. The H3 is the one that you see that has pretty much all fiberglass sides, and it's going to be completely painted. There's a couple of things. The cockpit is on the same level as the living quarters in the X, whereas in the H3, you have to go up a couple additional steps to get into your luxury home in the H3. Also, storage bays are different in the X and the H. We've got a really good show where I hit my head trying to get into an H under bay. But anyway, storage in an H3 is different because the floor is higher, whereas the ceiling is higher in the X3. So at some point it comes down to personal preference, and at some point it comes down to your needs. If you're 6'6", or if you're Larry Bird at 6'9", you would want to be in the X. If you're okay with the height of an H, and you like the storage in the H, and you like the additional steps up from the cockpit, you'd be in an H3 over what's behind me, the X3. Let's see about some questions here. New layouts for 2021. Gerald asked that. New layouts for 2021. We're going to have an upcoming show going over floor plans, because there are a couple of floor plans that are coming out and a couple of floor plans that Jay Graham is working on. I do know that. Sebastian. He wants you to visit us for the 100-year at Prevost. So I would love to come up there again. I would love to go up there. Armand and I should go up there and do a whole video of what it's like to visit Prevost, what it's like to visit Quebec, get into the heritage of Prevost, and why Marathon builds on that Prevost chassis. That's a great question, Sebastian. Okay, we tested this earlier. We're going to walk right through these two steel boxes. Paint booths. We got 4 60-foot paint booths here at Marathon in Coburg. Now, this is a good time to tell you, Marathon is the only luxury converter to have 3 locations. All these coaches have always been built in Coburg, Oregon. In Oregon. We moved to Coburg in 1994 when Bob Shellhorn built this building. Well, let's face it, the entire Marathon company built this building thanks to Bob Shellhorn. That being said, we've got a location in Florida and a location in Texas, but all of the coaches are built right in this building here in Oregon. Joe's asking why the X3 is not available in a quad slide. I will just say this. The answer to that is yet. Why is it not yet available? I think it comes down to we need to have enough consumers that want a triple slide X. We need to have enough consumers that want a quad slide X. and then we can get Prevost to manufacture and engineer safely and properly a quad slide X3. Now we did see some XL2s that were quad slide. But as of yet, we haven't done that yet. Prevost has not done that yet. And so we will build what the owners, what the consumer wants. That's what we do. We are in the business of building what people desire. So if more people desire a triple slide X or a quad slide X, I think the triple slide X is a great idea. And I think that's something that eventually and hopefully Prevost and Marathon get into. But as of yet, we have the double slide updated X3 and the double, triple, and quad slide H3. Those are the configurations that are available. Looking down at my phone again. Mickey, you're awesome for doing all these. Thank you so much. Can windows be added to bunks during a remodel? Eric is asking that. That's a great question. Marathon's done a lot of things, so I'm not going to tell you no. We've built windows so that when you're in a bunk, you can look outside. So I'm going to say the answer is yes, because I've seen it happen just as early as this year. We built a coach for a family, and they wanted windows to look outside from those bunks, and we did that, and it's pretty cool. So the answer to that is yes. Mural style paint jobs, absolutely. That's a good question, Ken. We have done that, and since we're down here, Armand is showing you, I think it's in Alabama, running elephants up there. He's going to try and cut that glare from these lights. But that is a sample of what we can do. See if I can find something else for you guys. We've done a lot of different features on coaches. This is one of my favorites. This is coach 1318. This is a coach that we have seen on the show on Marathon Mondays. Quad slide, and if you guys will remember, this is the one that has the sewing center in the bedroom of the coach. Quad slide Jackson hole floor plan. It's got the barbed wire that goes from a defined strong to a fade out, so cool. And then underneath, it's got this silver, and it's got the smoke on it. Beautiful dynamic coach 1318. It's so cool. But yes, murals, you kidding me? We've done it. Yeah, just look around the internet. You'll see some interesting murals that we've done. Let me take another look right here. Here's a really good question. Let's walk over this way, and I'll show you a little bit more eye candy while we talk about this. And thank you, Mickey, for forwarding this question on. Ron just asked a question if we can do alterations, if we can do changes, reimaginings, remodels at the other locations. Absolutely. And here's a couple of shells. 1349, this is another X3 double slide. And then this is also an X. I think this one might be a custom. I'm not quite sure. But it's in shell prep, as you can see. This one's getting ready to go into the paint booth. They'll just pull it right in there. Ron's question about Florida and Texas doing the remodels. Absolutely, you don't have to drive all the way up to Oregon, where all these coaches have been built, to get a remodel done. Now, that being said, let me tell you something. If you have some reupholstery, what we do is, to make sure that it's done up to Marathon standards, a lot of times they will take those out of your coach, those seats, send them here where Armand and I are, here in Coburg, have our upholstery team, which quite frankly we've talked about this, some of the best upholsterers in the country, have them reupholster them and send them back to Florida for them to be reinstalled. So there is no doubt, Ron, And that's a very good question. I appreciate you contributing in that fashion. We can do remodels and reimaginings from the other locations. All right, we're gonna head, I'm trying to think of the safest way to do this from a Wi-Fi standpoint. I think we should cut through here. Okay. It's pretty cool. Walking through the front of this coach. This is 1344. Paul, what are you eating?
Pork root lodge, Jimmy Jerry style. I took the pork loin, butterflied it all the way out until it was flat, and then filled it with fire roasted peppers, olives, and spices, and chimichurri. Then rolled it up, tied it up. Okay.
And the reason I asked is Paul is a foodie. He knows how to prepare, and he does a lot of the barbecuing down here for the guys. And so I asked him only because I knew he was going to give me a very thorough answer. It sounds good and it smells good. You too. All right. Now into the service department, you guys. Here we are in the service department. This is the back side, also known as the west side of the Marathon facility here in Coburg. Oh man, Rob Angelo making himself scarce. The flooring guru, there he goes. Talk about remodels. One of the things that this department does, and that guy right there, Rob, and Wes, I don't see Wes right now. It's break time here in Coburg. The flooring, remodeling your coach. Taking a coach, here's a very good example, 1143. The family that bought 1143. We just were in here, what, Armand, 2 weeks ago looking at the new cockpit? They have that beautiful new cockpit in there. This family right here, you know, a new floor. They might want a new floor, that's or new upholstery, new cabinetry. They might redesign different elements of their galley, new backsplashes. One of the best things you can do to update your coach, other than upgraded audio visual like TVs and what have yous. Here's another good example. Flooring. We're going in. Coach 1030. Because we're talking about flooring, and this has an absolute beautiful floor.
Excuse me.
Chuck's gonna make himself scarce too. Check this out, you guys. All right. They've got some protective stuff down on the floor because they're doing a lot of remodel in this coach. But this is an absolutely beautiful floor, and this is the craftsmanship that you get, and I think we've shown this coach already from a remodel standpoint, so we're not going to spend too much time in here. But since I was talking about it, this is what a remodeled floor can look like and do. Man, we got 68 people watching right now. Thank you so much for hanging out. We're going to go to the main part of the production floor here in just a few minutes. So, thank you. Kurt Nelson, everybody. Kurt Nelson is like Sinatra. He only plays big rooms. So he also made himself scarce. All right. So our service department, kind of the heartbeat of this building, because, and it's recess time according to that bell. So let's go out and play. Here's the deal, you guys. A guy like me will sell you your first coach. But what sells the second coach, the third coach, sometimes the fourth or fifth coach to an owner? It's the way that coach was built, and it's the way that coach was serviced. And that's why Marathon service departments are the heartbeat of this facility. They take care of these coaches. They know these customers. They have a relationship with these customers and with these coaches. They know what they've done to it, what needs to be done to it, the work and services that have been performed. and we're just gonna head right through here. Thank you, Armand. Purchasing department over here. We've got a good crew. There's a lot of parts that go into these coaches, as you know. This is just some of them. The purchasing department is very important here at Marathon because they spend a lot of time sourcing these items, especially during COVID. Sourcing items during COVID has been a challenge, you guys. Finding suppliers that, there's a lot of time where suppliers are shut down because of COVID. And so keeping the coaches producing, keeping the coaches built is something that is very, very important. Victory! Victory shipping department. There you go right there. A big Steelers fan over there, as you know. Donnie D. All right. Now, that is the parts department on that side of the building. And then look at all this. Lots of stuff in here. What do we, uh-oh. Cases and cases of Marathon calendars. Take a look at that. I better pull out my phone and look at these. David's asking, how do I get a new calendar? David, there you go right there. We got cases and cases of them, and in the coming weeks, and I don't mean a long time, you guys. I mean in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be going over how you can get that. So stay tuned to the show. Take a look at this wiring. This is what makes, this is an example of Marathon quality, quite frankly. Everything is labeled properly. Everything is done meticulously. I'm not going to touch anything because I would hate to interrupt something I don't know anything about. I can't really say it any differently. Sebastian is asking how COVID has affected, how the COVID-19 has affected Marathon's business. Well, as you guys know, the RV industry is up as we look at these beautiful coaches. The RV industry is up, so coaches are selling. But as I alluded to about 3 minutes ago when we were coming through the parts department, is it's very, very difficult sometimes to stay up with our suppliers because suppliers are also dealing with effects of COVID. So, and think about this. If you've got a component that goes into a coach, inside that component are other parts. What if they can't get one component to go inside that larger component? You can't build the larger component without the small part that's inside of it. And so that is something that a lot of people don't think about. Speaking of not thinking about it, 1341, that's going to be a beautiful coach. I'm excited to see that when it gets done. I see a couple of customs out here. Let's go down to the end of the floor. Here is an H3 shell. We've already seen an X shell, but here is an H3 shell. And when we walk around this building, it's almost New Year's. It's literally the Monday after Christmas, and you see how many coaches Marathon is building. That's another way to answer Sebastian's question about how has COVID affected Marathon's business. We are building coaches, and you see these shells all over and all of this production happening. We are still building coaches, and it's a tribute to all of the people that work in this building, from management to the purchasers, but most importantly the craftsmen that build these coaches and get these coaches properly built. There's a big difference between building coaches and properly building coaches, and Marathon, in my opinion, as you guys know, does the best at that. Let's take a look. Armand, I'm going to let you just stick your camera in there and take a look. H3 double slide, you guys. This is a designer choice. Now this is going to be designed by Santara. Santara is she's one of our newer employees, not only to the company, but to the design team. So I'm excited to see what she does in Coach 1347 because she's got a great eye. Excuse me, my voice is starting to say what's cracking. Woo! Okay. Let's take a look over here. I'm going to look at some of these questions here. This is one that I'm going to want you guys to see when we get done. Take a look at that paint job. When we get this outside, I'm excited to see. Now that is blue, you guys. That is a blue paint job. Let me take a look at some of these questions. All right, let's start with Jim Torrance. I'm going to get to Jim Torrance later because I want to tell you guys about Jim Torrance. I'll just say right now, how many parts goes into a new coach? That's a good question, Jim. I absolutely don't have any answer to that. How many parts go in? I will tell you, I think it's like 7 or 8 miles of wiring, properly placed wiring. Can you imagine 7 miles of wiring in a 45-foot bus? But how many parts goes into these? I don't know. That's a good question. I will put that to some of the people that have been here for decades and find out if they know. What's cracking?
How you doing, buddy?
Oh man, I forgot to wear my cowboy boots.
Next time, I guess, huh?
I thought about you.
Alrighty then.
All right, here we go. Take a look at that door, you guys. That's what a custom coach is. You get exactly what you want. We got more people coming back on. Sorry about that, you guys. I have no idea what happened. Neither does Armand. Most likely we got zucked and Facebook kicked us off. Zuckerberg, I love it. Let's get on here and see what Mickey says here. Let's walk down here. We got another coach down here. Ernest is asking, what's behind the front bumper? Well, I tell you what, that's an upcoming show, is what is and what can be behind that front bumper. But what I will tell you guys is that front bumper, there's a release for it on the, as you can see right here. Here, I'll show you. For those of you who have not seen it, and this is a quad slide H3, there's a release right here. You release this bumper, it drops down a little bit, then there's a secondary release, and it actually has a step so you can get up here and effectively wash the bugs off the front of your windshield. But also there are some components that go underneath there. We are going to do an upcoming show in the coming year on what you do have behind that bumper and what you can put behind that bumper. You do have some room. It is a little bit limited, but you do have some room. Hey, let's go inside. This is 1335 quad slide. Looks to be probably about a month left of production, but you can see right here what's going on in 1335. This guy is for sale. This is a coach you might see down in Florida at one of the shows. You might see it down in Indio with myself and Jim Cogley. My sister just texted me. She said, congratulations. Congratulations on a 200th show. And thank you to my sister and brother-in-law, John, who are watching from Vancouver, Washington, the clubhouse. Cabinetry in here is going to be really, really cool. We're going to wait to show you most of it split galley in this coach. But I'm really excited to get in here and look at it. It's the two-tone effect, and you're going to see it right here. I'll give you that right now. You see how it's this light brown down here? And it's this really bright, much brighter. It's not a white, you guys. It's kind of I don't want to say taupe, but it's darker lowers, lighter uppers in this coach, 1335. All right, brother, watch your step coming out of here. Okay, Spanky in Canada. I love the name, and I appreciate you watching. Spanky asked a good question. How long does it take for a coach to be built from beginning to end? That depends on the customization of that coach. But you should just say 4 to 5 months. A lot of things happen before the coach even arrives in shell form, like we've seen a couple of shells. A lot of things happen prior to that coach getting here. A lot of engineering goes on. A lot of the cabinetry is built prior. The plumbing, the electrical is, like we saw that electrical board over there being built. This is also a Santara and Brenda collaboration on the interior. Coach 1340 H3 double slide. Here's another thing that Marathon does. I'm kind of jumping all over you guys, but take a look at this. This entire scaffolding that you see, we take the front slide out, and this is how the craftsmen and craftswomen get into the coach to build it. Also, it's an effective way of getting larger pieces and appliances into a Marathon. And these are actually built right here in this building. 20 kW generator in every Marathon. That's another important thing to point out. Not everybody has a 20 kW generator. That's a PowerTech. Look how beautiful it is too. For those of you that are really into the beauty of application, take a look at all of the work. And this isn't even done, you guys. As you can see, this is not even done up here yet. But this generator sits on airbags. It slides out. You unlock it and it completely slides out to be serviced. And also another thing about it is this bay is contained from a standpoint of insulation. It's very difficult from time to time to hear if your generator is on or off. And that's just proper engineering. That's how we do it here. Plumbing and electrical in the middle of the production floor. Let me look at a couple more of these here. Okay, there's a good question. Michael is asking about paint. Oh, I get to show this too. Cool. Okay, Michael is asking about paint. How long does it take to do a paint job? That depends on the complexity of the paint job. We try to keep it in that 22 to 25 day, but sometimes with some of these paint jobs, the complexity is different, and so it takes more days. And that's one thing about our paint department. They don't just say, okay, it's done and it's ready. They make sure that it's done and it's ready prior to it coming down here. And the reason that we paint, and I think you guys already know this, the reason we paint these coaches prior to production, or at least that's the first part of the production, is because we want that paint to have a certain amount of time to cure before the owner takes delivery. So it's got some significant months and weeks ahead of it. Thank you so much, you guys, for jumping back on. I know that we got booted off there thanks to Facebook. Let's get into this right here. This is one of the finer details of a Marathon, and when you ask why Marathon, it's all in the details. And that's what Marathon does better than anybody else, is the details, the fit and finish. This is dovetailed bamboo drawer for Coach 1337. It is just beautiful. It's lined with this engineered leather. It is a synthetic leather, and a portion of it is actual real leather, so they call it engineered leather. But it's washable and it's scratch proof, and that's really important to have on the inside of a drawer. But look at the detail of that. That's just beautiful stuff. And why wouldn't it be, right? So cool to see. This doesn't have the door fronts on them yet. So what's going to be here is the cabinetry fronts will be put on here. But it's good to see in the raw before it goes in. That's beautiful. Someone left their DVD home for Christmas over there. Hallmark. Have you guys ever watched the Hallmark Channel? Oh boy, that's fun. Okay, 1337 right there. Custom coach. Here's another why marathon moment. Take a look at that right there. Everything is labeled in multiple locations, above standard application when it comes to bundling all the wires. It's how a luxury coach should be built. That's quite frankly the only way to say it. So awesome. And just like he was queued up, Dave, come here, dude. Just like he was queued up to come in, I'm going to put my mask on. You can take yours off. Oh no, you can. We should probably leave them on.
This?
We're going to be.
I'm very versatile.
Let's be 6 feet away, just to be according to regulation. 200th episode, Dave Bash. We've talked about it many, many times. The co-host of Marathon Mondays. With Mal and Dave. Here's the reason, you guys. Dave's been on more episodes than anybody else as a guest or as a contributor. And what Dave does here, I would say, and correct me if I'm wrong, one of the number one things Dave does here is any coach that comes in from a trade-in standpoint or from a consignment standpoint, Dave goes through those. He's the one that inspects them. And that what does that mean to you, the consumer? That means that you get to have insurance that somebody who knows what he's doing has looked over your coach and advised everybody on what this coach needs or where this coach stands. The other thing, and maybe more importantly, and Dave can tell us that, he does all the deliveries. He does all the deliveries here. That's right. Dave, who does the deliveries in Florida? Colin does.
I went out and trained Colin. He's very up to speed and very knowledgeable.
So what Dave was just saying is that Colin down in Florida is very knowledgeable and very good at doing deliveries. I've actually met Colin. He's a great guy. Him and Casey were up here not long ago, but Dave has also trained him. So we've got a very capable guy down there. Dave does all the deliveries here and Texas, right? So a lot of you know Dave and a lot of you appreciate Dave, and just live on our 200th episode, I wanted to say how much I appreciate you. Dave does a lot for me. When I'm on the road, if I can't figure out how to open the coach, I mean the basic things, you guys, I can't figure out how to open a bay door. I can't figure out this. I'm a sales guy.
It happens more time than it should.
That's right. So, I can call Dave quite virtually on any time of day, and I will get him 99% of the time, or he'll call me right back. So when you talk about marathon quality, nothing is more quality than that guy right there, and he is a big reason why people love to come here, take a tour, buy a coach here, and take delivery here. Because Dave Bash knows his stuff, and he's extremely patient. There's another thing. I could go on. It's a love affair with Dave Bash, you guys. You already know that.
You don't need to.
Thank you for everything you do, Dave.
Thanks. Dave, you've just been called the best co-host in America.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Yep, Angelo said that.
But
No, you certainly do deserve it. You contribute so much to the experience of owning, buying, and selling because of what you do, you know, when it's time to trade in or consign. So a big thanks to you. 200th episode, guys. We're going to head out this way. Thanks again, Dave. We're going to head back out, and we're going to finish up in the boutique. Just to give you kind of a roundabout here. Woo! All right, so here we are in the boutique. This is a spot where you can come and purchase shirts and little trinkets, and they've got some cool stuff. What did I see earlier? This little Marathon logoed pocket knife. Even has a little flashlight on it. Take a look at that, you guys. It's got a little Marathon logo on it. It's made of, it's got like a wood outer. It's just a cool little trinket. All kinds of neat little things that Marathon has in here. All right, our 200th episode. Let me answer a couple more questions here really quick. Sid says that Dave is the best. I think that's Sid Tolles, so Sid knows quite well. Sid knows that Dave is someone who really helps owners of marathons. Let's see here. 2021 calendars. Yeah, you're going to be emailing me, you guys, but hold off on the emails yet because we're going to actually have a procedure to do it because I want to make sure that we get them out there to you and that I get something from you if you're going to get a calendar from Marathon. Here's a good question. If someone can ask this, if someone is interested in a used coach that's not in Coburg and we need to travel, where is it located? You can always reach out to me, malw@marathoncoach.com. Quite frankly, you guys can, how many times did I say quite frankly today? You guys can reach out to me at any time and email me for questions. Whether you're buying a Marathon or not, just reach out to me if you've got questions. Use me as a resource. I've said it to a lot of people in person, and I'm saying it to you now. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy helping people. And you know, if I get an email from you, I'd like to help you. Of course, I'd like to help you get into a marathon because that's my paramount job here at Marathon is to sell coaches, not just be in front of a camera. Yeah, Mickey says that's right. Sid Tolles. Okay, so if you need to travel to that's the best way. You're making an investment in a 45-foot Prevost marathon. You should travel to go see it. We have done many sales over videos. Technology now compared to even 5 years ago is so advanced. Think about FaceTime. We can do live videos to sell coaches to you. These Marathon Mondays episodes help people make the decision also. But get on a plane, get in your car, use the train. I love the Amtrak, by the way. Get on the train, get to where that coach is and go check it out. Feel it, sit in it, test it out, and then use hand sanitizer and wear a mask. That's what I suggest when it comes to looking at a coach. Whether you're buying a $200,000 marathon or a over $2 million new marathon, go out there, see our salesmen, see our crew. We've got great people that work in Florida, Texas, and here in Coburg, and so that's the way I can answer it. Let me make sure that Mickey doesn't have anything else. Oh, there's a good one. Mickey, I'm going to ask you to answer this question and text it to me, and I will answer Eric. I wonder if this is Eric Benjamin. It is Eric Benjamin. Okay, Armand is shaking his head yes. One of our good friends of the show. There's so many of you guys out there. Eric is asking if these items here in the boutique will be available online. It's something that our marketing team has been working on with our website provider. For over a year now. I think there is a proper way to bring it to market. They're not going to bring all the items, but a hand-selected few items so that people that cannot make it to a marathon location could get some marathon gear. Let's see what, yes, there's a plan in place. They don't have a time frame yet, you guys, but Mickey is confirming that there is a plan to bring the boutique to the Marathon website. So stay tuned, and you know as soon as it hits, the Marathon Monday morning will definitely follow up and have that show for you. As soon as it's online, we'll do a show on it. But here's a way you can get stuff now. If you see something in here or you're interested, hey, do you guys have a jacket in extra large that is a full zip or a half zip or whatever? Email Terry. Actually, what you should do is email me and I will forward it over to Terry. Terry Moser is our executive assistant. She's actually she's the assistant to Steve Shellhorn, our owner, and she is in charge, and She's the curator of the boutique, for the lack of a better term. And we've done this before, so if there's anything out there that you're looking for, email me at malw, M-A-L-W, at marathoncoach.com. I will forward it to Terry, and then she'll start that process of getting you guys what you want from the boutique. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, you guys. The last thing I want to say is 200 episodes. This is a very important thing to me. I am a salesman at Marathon. I love working for this company. It's been just over 3 years for me, but it's been 200 episodes of the Marathon Mondays. What I will say about that is I love doing this show. I love interacting with you guys, and because I love the product, I love showing it every Monday. This show does not get old to me. Someone asked me that recently, if it gets old or if I'm getting tired of doing it, or if I'm having trouble coming up with content every Monday morning. And I'm just not. I love doing this show, and a big thank you to Marathon as a whole. Steve Shellhorn, Steve Irvin, Michael LeBrosser, all of our management, the guys that support me doing this every week. Thank you so much. And the guys, the men and women that work here, not just here, but Texas and Florida, they support it. Thank you to all of you guys for watching. 200 episodes. It's really cool, but we're just going to keep rolling. I mean, quite frankly, the difference between 200 and 201 is this one is just too long. Episode 200 is a long one. It'll be fun for our YouTubers to make their comments. Gosh, I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, the last person I want to thank is the guy behind the camera, part of our marketing department. Armand is tirelessly trying to make this show better and always willing to come in early on Monday and work on other days to support this show. So I want all of you guys that are watching, whether it be here on Facebook or YouTube, that Armand is a great videographer. He's very skilled, but more importantly, he's very artistic and patient. And with a personality like mine, it takes someone patient to work with me because I am all over the place. And I wouldn't change that for the world. Anyway, thank you to all of you so much. Marathon Mondays with Mal, episode 201. Next Monday, you guys. I'm excited for it. Thanks for watching. Be yourself and do good things. See you next Monday.